I don't remember. How does this work? Did I push the right button?
I don't know, and honestly, I think you should ask all the guest hosts who I assume have been doing episodes in the last 6 weeks, because I do not listen to the show, so I don't know what the deal is.
That's fair. Do you listen to it as you're recording it or not?
Listen to half of it.
Oh, so since you already know what you're going to say, you listen to me. I got it.
In the Midwest, you know the best is there waiting, so come and join the conversation. Eyes to approve, fan and artist and creator too. This is how the challengers do. What? Keep the conversation moving along. Keep reading comics, keep your local store strong. It gets hard and it's a job for the challengers. What? Comics and conversation, y'all.
From Challengers Comics and Conversation in Chicago, this is Contest of Challengers, a comics industry business podcast with
Patrick Brower.
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 Patrick Brower and W. Dal Bush.
W. Dal Bush.
Dal Bush.
Del Bush.
Dal.
Del.
W. Dal Bush.
Patrick, welcome back to Contest of Challengers, a comics industry business podcast.
Hey, thanks.
From Chicago, Illinois.
Thanks for having me. You know, it's interesting. It's been about, what was the last week of June that we had an episode number 743, co-hosted and guest starring Mitchell Davies from All Star Comics in Melbourne, Australia, or as David Harper from Off Panel calls him, my BFF.
Mitchell V. Davies?
That's right, Mitchell V. Davies. And I don't know what his middle initial or name is.
It's V now.
That's fine. But anyway, we're back.
You can tell we're back because Patrick just yawned.
Yeah, that's right. Multiple times
already. You haven't yawned in 6 weeks, and then we start doing the podcast.
They've all been
just, let me get all these big yawns out.
No, I've definitely yawned a bunch.
That's the routine. That's the routine for the podcast. It's just like, let's spend the first 2 minutes yawning.
That's fair. That's fair. You would think in the last 6 weeks that I would have taken notes about all of the things that have happened at Challengers in the comics industry.
I hope that, but I didn't think that.
So we would have an incredible slate of topics to choose from.
Oh my God, just like a charcuterie board of ideas.
How do you say that?
Charcuterie. You gotta put the shark into it, right?
Charcuterie. And I didn't. You know why?
Why, Patrick?
Because it was 100% all the exact same stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, some of it is just you. I don't know if we want to get into this. You were not a physical part of the comics industry for the past 6 weeks.
Well, I mean,
for whatever reasons you want to divulge to the audience.
I read a ton of comics.
I certainly made up a lot of things about you when people would ask where Patrick was.
I think you're wrong. I think I definitely was still a major player in the comic book industry. In fact,
I said physical part.
But I mean, I personally talked to a ton of comic creators.
It's vocal. That's not physical.
I need my voice to do it. It's not. It was all messaging.
Sound isn't physical. That's
actually it wasn't all messaging.
Sound. What do you, Claw, the master of sound?
Maybe. Listen to this. Wait, here, pull my finger.
No.
I just wasn't at the store.
Sure.
And also, not for the last time this year.
Right. And but what I was going to say about that before we got into the weeds of exactly how Patrick was or was not physically existing over the past 6 weeks was that when you're not
out of sight, out of existence.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what I was going to get to with how you're engaging with various news stories is when you're not having to deal with them in a really visceral, like day-to-day way, it's very easy to look at them and just go, meh. And I think it's healthy. It's a healthy way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that he just said meh.
No, but like too many people, I think, if I can paint with a broad brush, too many people nowadays will get upset about things that are not necessarily affecting them. They're either getting upset on behalf of some fictional person, some straw man, or they're getting upset because they like getting upset. And it's fair to say that like, you weren't working at the store, so when you would see, dumb things that a distributor is doing or things that a publisher is planning, it's very easy to be like, I'm not at the store. This doesn't affect me. This doesn't involve me. Yawning again.
I just didn't feel like writing it down. That's all.
I'm ascribing too deep a motivation to your lethargy.
I like that you literally just painted a picture of half of a political system.
You can read into it whatever you like.
So in the last, I guess 5 weeks since there's been an episode up.
Or 6 weeks since you were, I did one.
No, I did one.
But didn't you do that before
Well,
that week, though?
as far as people listening to
Oh,
it, came
okay. Okay.
out. I read a tremendous number of comics.
You did?
But nowhere near enough to catch up.
How many more weeks would you need to take off at the current rate of reading to actually catch up? Knowing that new books still come out every single week.
Let's find out in November.
Okay.
But it's funny because several of the books that are coming out next week that we already have in our possession, as I was looking through them, like, no, I read this. I read the digital copies online, the PDFs and things. I read this week's next week's Action. I read next week's Supergirl.
Cool.
I don't know why Supergirl doesn't sell better for us.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in that.
It's a fun book, and it's a gorgeous book.
It is. It's one of my favorite books. I think it's Blast. We took a really aggressive stance on the first issue, and so it's great to be able to still put it in people's hands 3 months in. Can't do that for every book that launched 3 months ago. But yeah, I'd certainly say that our sales numbers on 2 and 3, relative to what we ordered for issue 1 and even sold for issue 1, are far below what I'd like them to be. I don't think it's in like danger of getting canceled. They still sell twice as well as like Green Lantern or like Catwoman or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's still like, I consider that to be a book that should be selling at least what Superman is selling, if not more.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Agreed. I also, in the same token, we think Absolute Wonder Woman should be the best-selling Absolute book.
Yeah, it's still doing a lot better than Absolute Green Lantern, and it's doing better than Superman, but weirdly, I think it's kind of losing ground, possibly, and to Flash. But it's losing ground, I think, maybe to Absolute Martian Manhunter, which is pushing ahead of it, maybe.
Yeah.
To be the number 2 Absolute book after Absolute Batman as far as sales numbers go.
Yeah.
In my heart, it's Absolute Wonder Woman. And it's been really gratifying to talk to a bunch of customers. Recently, some longtime customers, some subscribers, some just random people, about how refreshingly great Absolute Wonder Woman is. I got into not an argument, but a brief exchange with somebody who had expressed their hope that Kelly Thompson could take over Wonder Woman. And I'm like, no, keep doing Absolute Wonder Woman. Absolute Wonder Woman isn't like the second place book.
Yeah, I really hope that her doing Buffy and Angel for Dynamite doesn't cut into any of her absoluting.
I can't imagine it would. I wouldn't think that doing 2 licensed books at Dynamite is necessarily the same level of compensation or, publicity as doing Absolute Wonder Woman.
I just meant creative bandwidth.
But I'm saying, like, if you were it's basically like if Scott Snyder does a book beyond Absolute Batman, like, I don't think that would take away from his attention or creativity in Absolute Batman. If anything, if it started to do that, he'd probably cut his, second and third tier books. And
Sure.
I think she would probably do the same. Like, and it's the sad fact of the market of you can do a book like Absolute Wonder Woman and still need to do, Birds of Prey and Buffy and Angel and It's Jeff stuff. And I say need to, but like, I get the feeling that she enjoys doing stuff like It's Jeff and Birds of Prey, and she had glowing things to say about the Buffy and Angel series that she was going to be doing comic versions of. So like, this all feels like, a creator, now that she has the acclaim of writing something like Absolute Wonder Woman, now she can kind of pick her projects. And it's like Caroline Cash doing the Bubbling special. Like, Caroline Cash doesn't have to do an Adventure Time book.
Yeah.
But when offered the chance to do an Adventure Time book and she could do an alternate universe, Princess Bubblegum and Marceline in college lesbian romance, of course she's going to want to do that. Of course she is.
I forgot what I was going to say.
It
was based off of, Well, yeah, I wish those books sold better for us. They sell, I mean, Absolute Wonder Woman sells great, but it should, the more people who we put it in their hands, the more people just love it and would never have picked it up otherwise.
Yeah, I'm very glad that the new Absolute Wonder Woman collection is coming out on the 13th.
Next week. I'm down for it.
Yeah. I am personally waiting for, and I hate saying it this way, Absolute Wonder Woman, where it's a much bigger hardcover, maybe in a slipcase.
I'm good with a hardcover for this.
I would buy a deluxe edition hardcover of that. I want it bigger, but I'm sure they'll get there in time.
So one of the discussions that we have had in the last couple of weeks, and I've had with Mitchell, my BFF, was about customer outreach. Like how far you go to alert people to new things. And for example, right now on Kickstarter, there's the 3rd volume of the Kyle Starks and Peter Kowalski's Where Monsters Lie. It's the final chapter. It's volume 3. It's called Dead End. It is a single issue, oversized one shot. It's 60 pages.
Okay.
It's $15. And it's basically the 3rd volume of the series, but it wraps it all up.
Okay.
I say wraps it all up because it's the definitive end, But had it been successful, Kyle already knew what he wanted to do for Volume 4.
Okay.
However, they're kickstarting it because Volume 1 sold very well, and
got Volume 2 commissioned.
yeah. And Volume 2 didn't sell at all.
Yeah.
And to this day, people come up to his table at shows, see Volume 2 and say, there was a Volume 2 to this? Because stores just didn't carry it for whatever reason.
That's very weird.
So it sold significantly lower than Volume 1. So Dark Horse is like, we can't do Volume 3.
I mean, we carried it, but I would say it sold less than Volume 1.
Yeah.
And that's a book that we got behind and we had fans of. And I think we copied over everybody who got Volume 1 to get the issues of Volume 2.
Of course you would, because it's the same creative team.
But then, you know, the thing that always kind of drives me crazy, and the thing that's the hardest circle to square, is that you'll have all these people who buy Volume 1 off the shelves, or they buy the collection of Volume 1 off the shelves. But then it's like, how do you let them know 2 came out? Like, we can copy over all the subscribers, which is great because they probably wouldn't remember to add it if we left them through their own devices. We would have people coming in, you know, when issue 3 comes out saying, oh, I had forgotten to sign up for this Volume 2. I didn't see it in the catalog or whatever. They overlooked it. And then again, that's not even counting the people who buy it off the shelf who forget when the second series comes out that they were reading it, that they want a new one.
Yeah.
Or the people who bought Volume 1 and then don't realize when the Volume 2 collection comes out, because there's almost no way for them to know about it. They don't read our emails. They don't.
Yeah, I was going to say 100%.
This stuff.
It's a thing that we prioritize in our emails and our marketing.
Yeah, but
to middling results.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff comes out every week. We can't tell everyone about everything.
So this Kickstarter's out right now, and it's a $15 book because it's oversized, and they're self-publishing it, and that always means it's going to be a little more expensive.
Sure.
$15, by the way, is significantly lower than a lot of bigger name creators' books on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Like there's an image creator who has an ongoing image book that's out right now that does moderately well for us, who's kickstarting a new thing.
Okay.
And the first issue alone is $19. And it is less of a page count than Where Monsters Lie 3. And it also has a ton of covers. Like for $100, you get the full set of covers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about like a 60-page thing, which is basically 3 issues of a comic series. If you were to do a 3-issue collection, I mean, 3 issues of a comic is $12.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Minimum? $12 to $15?
Yeah.
And then if you were to do a collection, probably a couple bucks more on top of that. So
Yeah.
I think $15 for 60 pages is pretty reasonable.
But more than that, this is not one of those big creator does a Kickstarter, suddenly small, like Dark Horse picks it up or Image picks it up or whatever.
Right.
This is it. This book is not going to be reprinted elsewhere.
Yeah, which honestly is why we skip a lot of Kickstarters, because I don't want to say been burned, but there's been a bunch of times where we've been like, we got to get a whole bunch of copies of this. We'll never get a chance. And then it's like 6 months later, it's coming out from a major publisher, and anyone can buy Unico Volume 1 now from Scholastic.
Sure.
For way less than if you Kickstarted it. And it's like, I feel a little burned.
And that other creator from Image, who I'm not going to name, whose Kickstarter is happening right now, they don't even have a retailer tier.
Yeah. That's weird. I was just reading from the Kickstarter guy on ICV2.
Yeah.
That they're really pushing for retailer tiers. And they're also doing a thing like an invite-only retailer tier where, like, they don't do a public retailer tier, but you can send a link to retailers saying, hey, here's my retailer tier.
Okay.
So you're not publicizing, we're giving X amount of copies for Y amount of dollars, specifically because of the dissolution of Diamond and the way that a lot of creators can't get their books out to more people. So like using Kickstarter essentially as a new distributor rather than just a way for fans and creators to connect with each other.
Okay. That's interesting. That's intriguing.
Yeah.
But Where Monsters Lie Volume 3 does have retailer tiers.
Great.
A 5 copy, a 10 copy, and as a retailer, you can get up to 50% off.
That's great.
Right. So going back to community outreach, what we did was we messaged everybody.
You say we, but it was you.
I messaged everybody and said, hey, this is a thing that exists. Do you want it?
Mm-hmm.
Of the specific Where Monsters Lie subscribers that we have, so far we've gotten answers back from 50% of them.
Okay.
One of them said, oh, I already backed it myself.
Great.
Everybody else said, yes, I want that.
Sure. I mean, you feel like it would, right? Like people who subscribe to 2 consecutive series by the same creators would probably want The concluding chapter.
Yeah. But we didn't automatically buy it for everybody because, it's a little bit pricier.
So what I usually would think to do in instances like that, like when it comes to like FOCs, when I feel like the numbers are not what I think the final numbers are going to be, like if I've got 10 people down for a comic series and a new thing is coming out and only 2 people signed up for it, what I'll probably do is like, I'll order 10 altogether because I feel like a bunch of the people who would normally have signed up for it and didn't will want it the week it comes out.
Sure.
I won't order more than that. Like if I had 10 subscribers and we sold 5 off the rack normally, so 15 altogether, and then a new thing comes out and it's like only 2 people sign up for it, I'm not going to order 15. I'm just going to order the 10.
Right. But what if you could only order it in bundles of 5 or 10?
Right. So yeah, I don't know that I would probably order what I think we sold for subscribers only on the final issue of Where Monsters Lie Volume 2.
It's interesting you say that.
Yes.
Because that is not what you said previous, which is why I sent the email out to everybody.
Sure. This is the better way to do it. I wouldn't have wanted to do it just cold.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like, in my head, I'm like, this seems like a decent price for a decent amount of pages. But if you had sent out this email and, like, nobody wanted it, I'd be like, well, shit, I don't want to sink any money into this. Sorry, Kyle. But, like, if you're getting a good response and the people who are responding are to a person saying, yes, I want to read this, then my assumption is like, okay, well, the 50% who didn't respond to the email never respond to emails. So if they don't see it on the shelf, they're not going to buy it.
Right.
Like, so I would then just say, okay, well, these people have told me this works. Now we get the rest. So yeah, I mean, the email is absolutely helpful just to get a sense of the temperature of the room,
But we also want to have a couple of shelf copies, I think.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't assume that everybody will eventually buy it. Like some people, you're going to get 1 or 2 people that are probably going to be like, no, I don't care. No, I didn't see it.
Sure.
Whatever. So those will be your shelf copies. And like, if we sell out, I feel like hopefully we could maybe reach out to Kyle and be like, fair. Hey man, this thing blew out week 1. Do you have any bundles left over? And if he doesn't, he doesn't. And people have their chance.
So what All-Star does, which is very different from what we do, is they will target a specific book. For example, Batman #1, the Matt Fraction upcoming book. They took a look at their absolute Batman subscriptions.
Right.
They took a look at their current Batman subscriptions, which is a touche, but
right, still
what it was before that. Subtracted Batman from absolute, took all those people who weren't signed up.
So all the people left were the people who signed up for Absolute Batman but had not signed up for the new Batman series.
Or were getting the old Batman series.
Okay.
Yeah. And emailed them directly and said, hey, you're down for Absolute Batman, which is a fresh new take on Batman. Here's your chance to do that again, getting in on the ground floor of a new #1, a new creative team, blah, blah, blah. And it nets them good results. The thing that they do, which is amazing, is it's not a mass email like I did. It's an individual email. They will email Dal Bush directly saying, hey, Dal, you were down for absolute blah, 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 whatever. Right. I'm sure the body is the same.
Yeah, it's just a personalized introduction.
Yeah. And they also take it to a level that I wouldn't have thought of.
Honestly, like, you could do that in Shopify.
Where it'll say, hey, subscriber name.
I mean, it's the same when we send out the monthly catalog emails. It always says like, hey, Patrick, I'm not sending out, hundreds of personalized emails. There's just a little formula at the top that says first name, and it looks at the first name in the context. So if Shopify had a more intuitive and simple to use interface for sending out emails, we could definitely do that. Their system sucks.
Yeah.
I've harped on it a million times, and I'll harp on it a million more times. It's the shittiest part of Shopify's interface is when they changed all their customer email stuff and just the customer function into segments. When they got real hard on segments, it was like, this sucks. This is a sort of functionality that is geared towards, well, you have 500,000 people who are buying off of your e-commerce website, so this is going to be way more intuitive for you. And it's like, I have like a few thousand people in my customer database that I need to pick 20 of them to send an email to.
Yeah.
I don't need a formula that determines which, 35% of them need an email. I'm telling you, these 20 people I need to send an email to, and you've made it impossible.
You know what we need to do?
What's that?
We need to find a programmer who can write a plugin for that and have them
there probably is one.
Sell it to Shopify.
There probably is one already. Maybe I should look for that tonight.
Yeah, okay.
We need more subscription fees for Shopify every month.
We definitely do. No, but I mean that one itself will make its money back.
Yeah, I'll look into it.
So here's an above and beyond that All-Star did was for the upcoming Friday hardcover.
Mm-hmm.
They emailed Friday subscribers because they still had that.
Whoever got 3, yeah.
And just said, hey, you've bought this before.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to upgrade to a fancier, like all-in-one hardcover thing
to
make it look better on your shelf or whatever, or if in case you missed volume 1 or volume 2 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the results have been considerably higher than expected.
Sure. I think it's a sensible thing to do. Yeah, it's definitely something we could do more of. We've talked about this before, but one of my concerns is always, how many emails do you want to send people in a month?
Yeah, I think it's different because those are targeted to such a handful of people.
Yeah, but so way back in the day, pre-Shopify, pre-pandemic, when we were using Comic Suite, I would do that. I would make up a list out of the catalog every single month previews. And I would...
I'm sorry, did you say fill views?
It's a previews.
Oh, fill views.
I'm sorry, what is that?
Fill views from Filbo Distribution.
Oh, I know. Is that what they call it? Do they call it fill views?
Yeah. and they have ripped off the homage the previews
Too late.
logo.
No. I don't want to talk anymore.
I was in fact making a legitimate current comics industry reference.
Jesus. But anyway, I would look through the catalog.
If I was making a joke, I'd call it previous.
Previous is real good.
Thanks.
You should have gone with that. God damn. Send that in. Previous. No, so I would go through the catalog every month and I'd make a little list of things that were basically like not the match choose we do now where it's like you were getting X, so we signed you up for Y, so much as it was like you're getting X by this creator. This creator has book Y coming out. Do you want us to sign you up for it?
Yep.
Like finding some similarity where it's like, you get Spider-Man, here's a Spider-Man miniseries. Do you think you want that?
Yeah.
You like Kelly Thompson's Birds of Prey, here's Kelly Thompson doing Buffy. Do you want that? But the thing was I would have to do I'd never wanted to do it on Tuesdays because that's when we were sending out the Arrival subscription emails.
Yeah.
I'd never want to send it on Thursday because that's when we're doing the next week email.
You never do it on Friday because that's the FOC.
We weren't even doing FOC.
Oh, that's
emails.
fair.
But
an occasional Saturday is the new catalog.
Yeah, I don't want to do it on the new catalog days. I don't want to do it on weekends because people don't usually read emails on weekends. So there's only a few days, and I don't ever want to do more than 2 or 3 in a day. And I'd also have to pick which ones I was doing because it's I don't want to do 2 or 3 different Marvel ones on the same day because some people are going to be down for all those books, and I don't want them getting an email at noon and getting another email from us at 3:00.
Yeah,
that shit sucks.
Yep.
So those sort of variables kind of made me think this is too stressful. Not for me, but for people. I think the more emails you send to anybody.
I mean, also for you because you have to think about it.
No, it's more that I know from the way I behave with my inbox. You start sending me multiple emails in a day, I start reading none of them. I unsubscribe. I will just start deleting them en masse.
But don't you think there's a difference because the emails we're sending are for things people would, in theory, want, not just hey, Threadless t-shirts are on sale again.
Right. And so I think there's some people who would find that valuable, but my concern is always the kind of people at the cusp of it who are
God, enough.
Yeah, I would maybe get some of these things, but I'm getting an email every goddamn day from challengers. Leave me alone. I don't want to engage with this in this way.
Yeah.
So even though you might scoop up a few extra sales, and some people are going to be this is great. Stupidly of me, maybe, my concern is the people who are going to be annoyed by it. And maybe those people don't even exist. Maybe I'm projecting a fear of everyone's going to get sick of us. And it's no, 90% of people would find it super valuable and the other 10% are ignoring it anyway, so who cares? So it's something that, maybe it's something we should go back to. It's something we should do more kind of targeted emails. And yeah, hopefully if we have a way of interacting with our customer list in a more, streamlined and intuitive way, we can do that. I never want to make more work for Brian, but this is a thing I brought up to Brian Garside, Managed Comics, a few years ago, being the sort of Comic Suite style, here is a series of checkboxes. You check off the people you want to send an email to. You write up the email real quick. Maybe there's a link in it. You're good to go. You're done. It sucks that we can't really do that. We could probably make up a template in Shopify's email system, that we could just plug stuff into. And again, it's just prepping a whole bunch of like, here is the solicit text for this book. And then you just schedule it for these days. But you would need to figure out the different segments for people. And the segments are harder to put together because you can't really put segments together manually. You've got to create a filter for it, basically. And the filter can't just be, here's some names. It's no, but how are you getting those names? It sucks. Shopify's email system sucks so bad.
When I was doing the Where Monsters Lie email, I obviously went to the Where Monsters Lie subscription area and had that open in a tab, had the email open in a tab. And as I was typing people's names into the blind carbon copy field, all of them auto-filled except two. Two I had to go search for the actual emails for.
I like that you did the blind carbon copy because it's the thing that I always think you have to do when you're a business, when you're sending it to a whole bunch of people. Sometimes creators just send an email to every store in Illinois and they just put everyone's email in the two lines. You're like, oh.
I will always...
Okie doke.
I hate when stores do that. And or whoever, whenever... Anybody that does that to us, no matter what the email is, I automatically discount it.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to do business with you if you can't.
Those stores those stores' email addresses are largely public facing, but it's definitely people where I'm like, I don't know that everyone's email is supposed to be public facing. But okay.
Yeah, it's the, to quote Del Bush, it's the least we can do.
Yeah.
So there's always so many things that you want to do, but
oh my God, there's not enough hours in the day.
There's not, especially in today's comic book industry.
And it's frustrating sometimes as a store owner, manager, what have you, where you can feel like you're doing all these things and you're kind of working yourself to the bone, but you can see the things where it's like, if I could do these extra things, I know it would be valuable to the business. But it's like, where would I fit them in? Like, do I sleep less? Do I skip meals? Like, how am I doing this?
Yeah.
There's so many things you could be doing. And sometimes it's okay to say, like, I don't know. Like, it is okay for me to live my life instead of doing a couple of these extra things. It's got to be okay.
So many of the days of the week are strictly regimented with the tasks that need to get done that day.
Yep.
Even days off, even days like while I was not at the store, I still had to do all the social media posting each week.
Yes, thank you for that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm sure you wouldn't want to do it.
I would not want to do it. While you were out of office, there were a whole bunch of your tasks that I had to do.
Yep.
But there were a bunch of things where if you weren't willing to do them, they would have just gotten skipped. I would have just been like, I don't know, we're not doing that for 6 weeks.
Like paying the bills.
Patrick will be back at some point. No, that would have gotten done. Like, if you couldn't have done that, we would have had a conversation before your absence where it would have been like, show me exactly what to do and when to do it, and I will take care of it.
It was
but honest to God, all the social media stuff, if you were like, I can't do it, it's like, well, then it doesn't get done.
It was a delicate balancing act between iPad, iPhone, bouncing between the two of them.
iPod, Star Trek, Star Wars.
Oh, there's a new one now. I forgot what it was, though. A new double thing that I conflate with the other. So be it. It doesn't matter that much. Adam Cole, Adam Page. That's what. Definitely not what it is.
You can forget the Adam Cole one.
Christian Cage and Brian Cage. I'm sorry, Christian Cage. Yes, I still.
That's the Blake Christian Brian Cage tag team. Christian Cage.
I managed to still watch all of the wrestling in the 6 weeks. I did not make it to any of the AEW Chicago Aragon Ballroom residency.
Me neither.
But so be it. I've also realized some things that need to be canceled and tweaked toward the end of the year. Mainly a personal nature, but a major store component has to change. For me, not for you.
Okay, I honestly don't know what we're talking about.
I know you don't.
You'll tell me later, I'm sure.
I will. But yeah, for the last 6 weeks, it's been...
Oh, wait, no, I know what you mean. Yeah. I mean, you could either move it up in the calendar or move it down on the calendar, I guess.
I can't move Richie Kotzen's concert at all.
Why not?
I don't have the power.
Have you asked?
No.
Well...
I did work on a new in-store today, and while nothing is set in stone, it'll happen sometime over the winter.
Okay.
There is somebody in Chicago who...
They're in Chicago now?
Yes.
Okay.
Who, they're not a comic creator. They go to farmers markets, and they do $5 portraits.
Okay.
And these portraits are terrible.
Oh, good.
But they're awesome.
Okay.
And people love them.
Sure.
And I forgot who was it, it's somebody, there was an article somewhere that I read about it, found out they're in Chicago, reached out and said, I want you to do this at Challengers. And they said, yeah, when winter hits, absolutely.
Great.
Because right now they're full up. They do weddings, they do parties, they do farmers markets, but yeah, it looks like I would try to have them do all new portraits for everyone at the store.
Okay.
Which, I mean, I'd have to show them pictures and be like, do that.
Sure.
But yeah, they're on Instagram under terrible portraits.
Okay.
Yeah, but they got back to me right away saying, yes, I want to do this.
That's awesome.
At your store in the winter. That'll be fun. And we have Lucy Knisley coming up at the store for
August 23rd.
The third book in her Peapod Farm series.
I'm pretty sure I read on the Penguin Random House website that it was the final book in the Peapod Farm series.
Yep. And it is not just a signing, it is a Q&A, it's a presentation, it's a little kids comic. It's
in all my years of knowing Lucy Knisley, I don't think we've ever had her just do a signing. She doesn't work that way. She always wants it more than that. She wants it to be a more robust experience for her fans.
And then on Saturday, September 6th, we have Andrea Bell for the second time this year for her second graphic novel of the year.
Yep.
Millie of the Manor, which is a middle grade book, and it's the launch.
Middle grade book, even.
A middle grade book? Yeah. Gotcha. Sorry, I didn't hear what you said. It's the launch event.
Previous.
It's the launch event, and she's working on a fun component for people that come to the event.
Cool.
And then 2 weeks after that,
it's good that we're doing that because we need to restock on a bunch of indie stuff. So if she can maybe bring some stuff.
She might not have it.
I know, but if she has it.
She didn't have anything. All she brought were buttons.
It's been a while. I mean, we still got Bork's book, which is great, but
yeah,
like all of the merch we basically.
We should, and I say this meaning you, we should get copies of the leak, copies of
Crumble.
Yeah, for sure.
We got them, but we can always get more.
Okay. And then 2 weeks after that is Batman Day on Saturday, September 20th. And we'll have Alex Rosado. We'll have first timer Mike Petrick at the store.
Cool.
Recommended by Dave Scheid. Mike was someone we reached out to for Free Comic Book Day, but was unavailable. He's going to be at the store all day.
Nice. We'll also have a bunch of free comics for Batman Day. There's always a bunch of books they're making up. And I think we'll probably have maybe some of the exclusive Batman Day merch. We haven't done a lot of that stuff before, but it usually depends on what they're doing because it's usually a mix of like dust jackets for old hardcovers and maybe some special covers for recently released Batman books.
Yeah.
But since this is happening after Batman #1 comes out, I assume that they'll be doing a special Batman #1 cover. I assume.
Who knows?
It's so weird to think that we're already like doing events for September, and that means after Batman #1 comes out, after Batman Deadpool comes out, or I'm sorry, Deadpool Batman comes out. Like, those were books that I remember them announcing months ago and being like, oh my God, that's so far in the future. And now it's like, no, we ordered them already.
Yeah.
They're coming in like a month.
Yeah.
Which was a weird thing. Like, that FOC week was super weird because you're looking at these massive bills and it's like, wait, not all this stuff is coming out the same week. And I don't mean that in the usual, like, oh, the graphic novels are coming out a different week. It's like, no, there's multiple comic books from this week that are shipping in like a 3-week window. Like, we were getting, we're ordering Batman #1, and it's like, that's like the first week in September, first Wednesday in September. But then we were also ordering Deadpool Batman, which was 2 weeks after that. That's like the 17th or something.
Huh.
So it was daunting to do that order because it's like, oh my God, there's so many, but no, this isn't 1 week's bill. Multiple weeks.
Yep.
But it was insane because it was that constructing that FOC email was like an embarrassment of riches. It's Batman #1, which is its own massive thing, but it was only the #2 book for that email because Deadpool Batman is way bigger. And then a new It's Jeff special. And then, like 5 other books. It was big. It was a big week. And I think it feels like that's going to be kind of every week from now on as far as those emails go, because once you start getting into September, October, November, it's big. There's a lot of stuff coming out.
Yeah.
We don't even know what all of it is yet.
We have a huge event tentatively scheduled for
November.
Friday, November 7th, which we can't say anything about just yet. It's going to be big.
Yeah, we're partnering with somebody else to do it, so we have to wait for them to get their media ducks in a row. So they want to announce it in the right way. And so once they announce it, then we'll be able to talk about it more. Somebody randomly had mentioned something about that to me, and I was like, we haven't announced that. Like, did they announce it? What? And it's like they were confused and I was confused. And then I realized they were just asking a question in an incredibly weird way.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, oh, okay, I guess never mind. What?
I think we will take the rest of the year off at that point from events.
Yeah, I obviously, like, even when you were out, we still did some stuff because sometimes things are just too convenient.
Yeah, the things that were set up that, yeah.
Or just because it's like I think we would probably shy away from, a big project with a bunch of components to it. But if somebody's in town or has a book coming out that we know and they're like, I'll come in and sign, it's like, I can set up a folding table.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need all hands on deck for a signing for a local creator or somebody who's going to be in town, and we'd be stupid to pass up the chance to have them. Like, that stuff we won't say no to, but we probably will not go out looking for things to do.
Correct.
Throughout November and then into December. And then really, like, we've done stuff in December before, but we always try and tell creators, like, it's not going to have a great turnout. Like, especially once you get into the middle of December, people are doing holiday parties. People are going out of town for the holidays. People are doing all their shopping. The weather isn't great. Like, if we have no other choice and it's the only way to do an event with somebody is to do it in December, fine. But, like, we always try and caution, like, maybe you don't want to do it. Maybe we look at something, in the new year or something.
Yeah, we can say as much as we want. Yeah, we're not going to do any events from November 8th through the end of the year, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, if Grant Morrison's in town and they want to do, like, a signing, I would be like, yes, we will figure that out. Okay.
We'll make it work for them.
Yep.
Just so long as they know that we're going out of our way.
Exactly. Really, we're doing them the favor.
Yeah, of course. That's the way it works.
Yep.
It's now time to thank our Patreon supporters, including our annual patrons, Usi Arun Singh, Becca Hilburn and Joseph Coco, Bren Helt, Dal's mom Diane Bush, President of the Brian Garside Fan Club, Django Borin, Jose and Genevieve Villagomez, Josh Crowley of Westfield Comics, our bestest wrestling watching pal, Michael Lee, Michael Romanenko, Severio the Cat, our patrons who have created their own tier, Andrew, Drew Troy Aaliyah, Chris Burton, Claudine Neville, our other generous patrons from the Say My Name pledge level, Ben-Hur Benedict Calaguas, Manage Comics Own, Brian Garside, Christopher Haith of Crooked Dog Comics, Drew Triner and Ashley Edwards, Gareth from Monkey Rocks Comics, my brother George Brower, Heidi D., Holly Aitchison, Jacob Sorelli of Kamikaze, Josh Trigg, Mark Hammond of Oh Yeah Comics, Margie, Keith, Logan, and Malcolm Springham, Matt Armstrong, Mitchell Davies of All-Star Comics in Melbourne, Australia, Morgan Kaiju Perry, Nicholas Fenner, my longtime pal Robert Burns, Ron Payne, Sean Bowers, Tad Eggleston and Johnny Williams, Thomas Nagovin of Century Guild, Walt Grogan, Walt's Comic Shop from Berlin, Germany. And if you want to hear your name thanked on this very podcast once a month, head over to patreon.com/challengers and pledge at the $5 Say My Name level. And a big thank you to all our other patrons at the various other pledge levels. So, it turns out I did have one single note for this episode. And it is...
And the note is, what happened in July, Dal?
So it's so far removed from our current reality that I'll still bring it up.
Okay.
But it was, I rushed to get the orders for Diamond done in June before I left.
Yeah.
For August.
Okay.
August shipping books.
Yeah.
And I thought this was a major thing, so I recorded it.
Mm-hmm.
The entire previous catalog for August Shipping Books, we ordered 167 items.
Is that line items or individual units?
167 individual units.
Okay.
For the entire catalog.
Yep.
And it was under a $1,500 bill.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at the time, I'm like, wow, this is so low.
It's so bad.
It's ridiculous.
It can't possibly get lower.
It can get lower. In fact, it can get $1,500 lower because we've just quit ordering from Diamond.
Pretty much. I did the one after that, the July for September, I guess.
Yeah.
And I was largely just doing it to see what we needed to order from all of our other vendors.
Sure, yeah.
The one positive that I think a lot of retailers have talked about in the way that Diamond has more or less ceased operating as a distributor of comics is that the monthly catalog was great just for knowing what the hell was coming out.
Yeah.
Instead of getting a bunch of different catalogs or a bunch of different marketing emails from publishers and from distributors all over the map, you would have one monthly catalog that you could look through and go, oh, I want to order this from Hachette. I want to order this from Simon & Schuster. I want to order this from Scholastic, from HarperCollins, from Macmillan, whatever. Like, all of that stuff was in one place, so it was great. So when I did the July for September previews Diamond order, it was mostly just going through and going, okay, what do we have to order from Viz? Okay, cool. Let me put that order in someplace else because Diamond's never going to fill this. What do we need to get for subscribers based on the Diamond data file that I can get from literally any place else, and then deduct all that, and then anything that's left that is only available in the Diamond catalog, I will post that order. It's never going to fill,
right?
Because by 2 months from now, no one's going to want to give them a single product. They're only going to be carrying NECA toys and Funko. Like, somehow they're still listing new Funko stuff. How is that company not cutting them off yet? Anyway, so I think it was maybe like 12 line items, maybe, of things where I'm just like, this is the only stuff I can't get anyplace else that I need to get for subscribers. It's insane. The weekly FOCs now are 10 to 15 line items. And a chunk of them are just like Hiya Toys or Black Box Comics or something where it's just like, I don't even know what this is. And we don't have any orders for it. Yeah, we haven't got, like, I think in the 6 weeks that you haven't been coming to the store, I think there's one, maybe 2 weeks where we actually got a Diamond shipment.
Wow.
And 1 week it was a manga volume and 3 copies of Knights of the Dinner Table. And I think we had to pay $11 for shipping on that.
I was talking
which is insane.
I was talking to Josh Crowley from Westfield Comics, surmising that if new to order stuff does fill in the future, what are our discounts going to be?
So did you see the email I don't know if it was in an email, but it was definitely in their Diamond Daily. So Diamond's shipping, which is abysmal, is 3% of your order. It was 3% of your order because they just raised it to 6.5%.
I thought it was 3.5 to 6.
Okay, maybe you're right. 3.5 to 6.
Yeah.
But they basically doubled it. So whatever you were paying in shipping, which was already the highest we pay for any vendor in the industry, is now twice as much. And like, there's a lot of things that I can sort of understand. And it's like, you can blame a lot on tariffs, even if it's just a specter of tariffs. But when you're raising your shipping costs, it's like, that's not tariffs.
Nope.
That's just you charging us more.
Yep.
At a time where most people are charging us already significantly less than you.
And remember when Diamond went to the 3%, 3.5%, it was a huge talking point. It was a huge deal.
Yeah, because it was egregious before that. And now,
this was their attempt at transparency.
Yeah, again, it didn't get better. It just got more calculable because no one ever knew what they were going to get charged. You would just have some random amount, and multiple people had spent time in the logistics industry trying to reverse engineer, where is this number coming from? Why is it so high and also so seemingly untethered from whatever your shipments are? And no one ever knew, but now it's like, okay, now you know. It's still insanely high and speaks to a company that was either pocketing the difference or terrible at negotiating contracts with their vendors to be having to charge this much money when we can get an entire box of stuff from Ingram and it's like $5.
Yep. And that's one of the more expensive ones we pay.
Penguin Random House, nothing. Scholastic, I think it's like 12 units and it's free shipping. HarperCollins, I think is like 14 units maybe and it's free shipping. Like this stuff is like the industry standard, except for the comics industry, which is terrible. So yeah, the idea that not only are they not shipping anything out, but also if they do ship anything out, it's going to be way more expensive than it used to be. So it's like, what is the strategy here?
Do you remember mid-January, early January, when...
I don't.
Diamond, you will remember this, when Diamond announced their bankruptcy. And actually, I think this is a quote we had from way before that was, "We can easily survive without Diamond."
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that they were going to make the entire industry prove it.
Yeah, I remember back when Penguin Random House was going to be distributing Marvel. And that was kind of the first company that they were handling. They would eventually go on to handle Dark Horse and IDW and buying Boom. But Marvel was the first one. And because Penguin Random House was, used to, I guess, wholesaling as well as distributing, they sold to Diamond. So you could still order your Marvel stuff through Diamond instead of having to create a Penguin Random House account to get Marvel. The discounts, I think, were worse. I don't know how much worse. It was always hard to tell. We would sometimes, because Penguin Random House would run out of stuff, we would reorder stuff from Diamond, and the discount was close to what we were ordering when we were ordering from Diamond before from Marvel. So it was always very weird to me. But anyway, we couldn't really understand, like, why would people still keep going with Diamond? Like, the shipping costs alone make this kind of not a great deal. Penguin Random House is free shipping. So the one real interesting thing about how Diamond has, I was going to say imploded, but really exploded, because it's been super damaging to a lot of businesses, like an explosion, is that it's forced all of these companies and stores that were like adamant about not leaving Diamond to have to start looking at the market as a whole bunch of different distributors that you should be ordering from.
It should have been all along.
Yeah, but now you have
us
to.
Included.
Yeah, we had said before that like the main thing that would hurt us with Diamond going away was toys, because that's what we were getting a lot of from the last few years. We were doing, our Funko Pops and our Hasbro toys, and we were doing a lot of cool little trinkets and stuff, the blind bag keychains and some plushes and just a bunch of cool things that Diamond had a nice selection of and at decent prices. So we were, dipping our toes into those waters. And that's really the one thing that we're still struggling to figure out a way through on, is we've started getting Hasbro stuff again. We went to a different distributor.
We have to charge significantly more.
I was going to say the prices are not great, and we also have to order in higher quantities. So there's probably some stuff that we would order ones and twos of from Hasbro before that we have to order cases, so we're not going to order them at all.
So we're just going to skip.
And yeah, it would be nice to find someplace that is willing to do ones and twos of that sort of stuff. You still need to take a look, I think, maybe at that other distributor that we finally got.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Because they do ones and twos of stuff, but it's not a lot of things. I think Funko is maybe the one thing that we could shift over. The prices are not great, but at least we could probably do smaller quantities than case quantities. But yeah, I mean, I would love to find a place that we could deal with where we could do those sort of small quantities on a nice diverse selection of stuff instead of having to hit minimums at places that are carrying a bunch of stuff we don't care about and then having to charge more for it and all that sort of stuff. That I hope that's something that when Universal gets up and running as a distributor in the US, that sounds like a thing that they're going to want to try and do, is kind of emulate the merchandise aspect of Diamond. And I would jump at the chance to get that relationship going.
We also need to take a serious look at Monogram, because they do a lot of the blind bag stuff. You and I were at the Target by the store earlier today, and I went down that knick-knack card gaming aisle, and there's always so many blind bag things, Marvel things, that Target stocks that we never have access to. And they had just a generic Marvel Universe plush bag hangers that came in it was like blind boxes, not bags, but it's just like the generic Marvel Universe characters.
Sure.
And the basic stuff like that is stuff that I always want us to have.
Yeah. So one of the things we found out over the last few months is we've been trying to shore up the aspects of Diamond that we now need to have individual accounts to do, is the stumbling block that we have with a lot of these places is that not only do you have to jump through all the hoops to create an account, which is credit applications and filling out all this information and submitting forms and submitting photocopies or scans of different business licenses.
And if I can jump in just for a second.
Yeah.
When we're filling out credit apps like that, we can't use Diamond anymore, who was, for the last 17 years, our biggest account.
Because we've been using them for 17 years.
And B, you can't use Lunar because there's no way for them to contact anyone at Lunar. You don't have a credit rep.
No.
So Lunar, who is now currently our largest account, like the people we pay the most money to, we can't prove it. Like, do you want the
service app?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean, maybe. I would probably do that. Just be like, look, if you want to contact them, take your best shot.
I've put that in credit apps, just saying, hey, we give them the most money.
Yeah. And look, I think a lot of the places we're dealing with, I don't know if they're necessarily, contacting all these places.
Yeah.
I think some of that is just like the theater of, if we think this is sketchy, we're probably going to reach out to some people, but you seem like a pretty legitimate business, so we're just going to do it. But the problem is not even like the hassle of having to create these accounts, which again can get time consuming and boring. We talked before at the beginning of this episode about how few hours there are in the day, and having to do stuff like that means we can't do customer facing stuff. But the bigger problem is that most of these things then come with like, okay, well, here's the initial order you have to place to create your account. And it's like
only $3,000.
And it's like, I'm not doing this because I'm starting a store. I'm doing this to pre-order stuff that's coming up in the future. I don't want to have to spend essentially $1,500 to $3,000 on stuff I don't need right now to then be allowed to pre-order additional things in the future. That is a bad value for me. So, and then the additional step of like, okay, well, what is my minimum order going to have to be in the future to be able to get these things even shipped out? Like if we're creating an account at a place like Monogram, where it's like, well, I'm probably not going to be spending hundreds of dollars a week at Monogram. Is it worth it to even have an account if I'm not going to be able to reach their minimum threshold to get stuff shipped out because I am one 1,500 square foot store that the percentage of my business that would even be that category is, high single digits of the pie. Like this is where it sort of trails off, and where you need someplace like a Diamond, or hopefully again in the future like a Universal, that can consolidate a lot of those different minor orders from smaller companies to then bundle together into like, okay, this is a viable business. This is an amount of product that I'm getting that is worth having an account for.
There was a new sticker distributor that reached out to us much earlier this year that had decent product lines, not a full line of everything we want, but decent product lines, but their minimum piece order per sticker was too high.
Yeah.
Like we don't need 10 of any one sticker.
No.
Like maybe over the course of a couple of orders, we'd order that, but not at one time.
Yeah.
Their minimums were too much. And now that Attaboy has lost the Marvel license, there's so much stuff that we don't have access to anymore.
Yeah, our pin selection is real bad because a lot of the core emblem stuff, there's nothing to get. I don't know what we would get. I don't know where we'd get them from. And we could probably look at different like pin manufacturers and just start saying like, is this?
Oh, remember we reached out to one company and found that their cost is higher than our current retail.
Oh, great.
For the exact pins that we sell.
Perfect.
Yeah. That was earlier this spring.
Okay.
And it's a company that sets up at shows and has a huge online presence, but like, wait a minute. We have to pay more to get this than we sell it for now.
That's not great.
So we would have to more than double our prices.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
We're not selling a 1 1/4 inch button for $5.
No.
I think it was like $2.25 was their cost.
Ugh.
Come on.
It's brutal.
Come on.
Brutal.
We know what it takes to make these things. What can we say? There's things we can do.
Imagine
right now the shape the Challengers is in. Oh, and here's a quick
rectangular.
A quick anecdote to the day. Since we were in the neighborhood and got some stuff for the store and needed to drop it off, you'd earlier said like, "Hey, do you want to swing by and go into the store?" And I said, "No, I'll be there tomorrow." And you said, "You haven't been in 6.5 weeks." And I said, "Yeah, and I'll be in tomorrow." whatever's in it now will still be there in 12 hours.
I thought you might want to see the store again, like it mattered to you, but clearly it doesn't. That's fine.
It matters as much to me as the physical effort it would take to get into the store.
Somebody had asked, I think this past Wednesday, if you'd missed the store. And I kind of had to like phrase the answer in a real specific way. I'm like, I think he misses getting back to normal.
I definitely miss the store.
Okay.
I miss the store and the comics and my coworkers.
Aw.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh, so my plan for, and this will already be online if it goes right, since it's me and Ashley tomorrow.
Yeah.
Have Ashley film a video, and she's going to be like, hey, so we've got something back in the store that we haven't had in over 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts to me going, what? What is it?
That's nice. That's good.
Do you think that's subtle enough? Like, I seriously wonder if, like, the number of posts that'll be, wait, what is it?
I would probably have a longer version of that.
So my kicker was going to be her going, it's you. And me going, oh, is that it?
I would probably like have her version of it be like, hey, so obviously if you've been coming in over the last 6 weeks, you know, we've been out of stock on a major part of what makes Challengers such a fun place to shop. We've worked really hard to get it. Well, obviously with the distributor situation falling apart, like we've had trouble restocking, but you know, we finally got a really big shipment in, and then it's you.
Really big, huh?
I mean, you've seen the size of the shipments we get, right?
It's true.
The box was gigantic.
Assembly required. Definite.
UPS was not happy.
Definite assembly required. But yeah, it's like, don't you want to go see the store? I'm like, I'm going to see it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
It's come a long way from, especially during winter when it's dark when we leave, and we had the comfy red chairs. Mm-hmm. Do you know how many Saturdays I would just sit in the dark stare and look at this dark store and look at it and be like, yeah.
It's a good store.
Yeah.
It's a really good store.
You know why I don't do that now?
No.
We don't have the red chairs.
We do. It's on top of like the bookshelves and sidekicks.
Yeah.
You want to sit up there?
I do occasionally
get a
take
very
that
different
down.
view of the store.
I do take that down and sit in it sometimes, but it's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Definitely a whole different thing, which is what life is at all points.
Definitely a whole different thing.
Oh, always changing. Oh, so my point, I think what I was trying to say before, I don't think I got it out, was
maybe
think of all the things that you want to have stocked in the store right now that we can't get.
Okay.
Pokemon cards, Magic cards, all the buttons and stickers and things we just talked about.
Yep.
Imagine, like, if we had the full line of action figures we wanted. Imagine how we'd be doing if we had those.
Yeah, I get frustrated with that. I mean, we've had really good months, but the thing I can think of, you know, at least 4 figures, if not 5, of like business we've left on the table because we just could not get the products people want.
Well,
and that sucks.
The phrase left on the table, I always feel, is when we've made a choice not to carry a thing.
That's fair.
Like we don't have access to the table currently.
True.
I mean, I understand what it means, and you're right. It's just it makes me feel like
probably inaccurate in that sense.
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
It makes it feel like weird, like
leaving money on the table is
not ordering enough.
We didn't email people to let them know about a product.
Sure.
That's us leaving money on the table by not like pursuing that to make sure that but this is, we can't get these things. The Target we had stopped in, the end of their card game aisle is empty pegs of where all the Pokemon cards would be because they have nothing. Target has nothing. We can't get from anybody. There is a new vendor we were looking at, and they do have some like things of Pokemon cards, but they don't have like booster packs.
Right.
And the stuff they do have, like essentially what would be booster packs, we would be buying them at more than what we would normally be selling them at.
Like the buttons we were just talking about.
So we would have to be a store that charges the equivalent of $10 a booster for Pokemon cards, because that is what we have to pay if we even want to get them back in. Which currently, the way we're leaning between the two of us is, no, we don't want to do that. But there may be a point in the future where it's like, that's just what the market is charging. So
yeah,
maybe we start carrying them again.
I mean, we do have a ton of Pokemon stuff on pre-order.
Right. For whatever good that, we're not going to get most of it.
What they're doing now upcoming is one of the series they're doing 2 different booster styles, different colors, like red or white.
Yep. That's how they do it in Japan.
Is it?
Yeah. I think they're importing that idea. And I think maybe that's a way of them being able to I'm reading too much into this, but hopefully that is a way for them to get more product on the shelves in a more sensible way in America.
So we've been limiting our Magic cards recently to like 4 packs per person.
Because for the last set, we got 1 box.
Yeah.
1 box.
Yeah.
1 box of play boosters. That's it.
I assume we're out
now. When I left on Wednesday, we had literally 1 booster pack left. So I assume that we're done.
And you said that Target had a limit of 2 sign.
Yeah, for their card game section. Trading cards.
As a whole.
As a whole. It wasn't just Pokemon. They were just enforcing it across the board. I assume it's only, necessary for things like Pokemon and Magic. But I don't even know if did you say they had Magic? No Magic?
No, they had Lorcana and Yu-Gi-Oh!
Okay. So unless they had their Magic in a completely different part of the store, which maybe they did, I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, Magic and Pokemon are just impossible to get unless we want to start charging more for them. And maybe, honest to God, like if that's where we're at, if even the vendors are like, this is what it costs, then I guess it's what it costs now. Then we have to kind of get rid in our head of the idea of, and look, I mean, even Wizards of the Coast has changed what these things cost. There is not a Magic booster pack price. Collector boosters cost more than play boosters. Different sets of play boosters cost more than other sets of play boosters. This is just the market now.
Yeah.
Prices are all over the place. So we might have to look at it as, look, this is what they cost. You don't have to buy them. But this is the only way we can carry them. So some people are probably going to want to pay that. I hate that we have to charge that, but I'm also tired of spending so much of my day, every day, telling people we don't have things. That is such a goddamn bummer. And it's one thing for it to be like, look, we're getting 5 copies of Supergirl Woman tomorrow, softcover in the next day or 2. That's it for a while. Penguin Random House is on back order on it. Lunar's on back order.
Well, they're doing the compact comic.
Next January.
Oh, okay.
So they will go back to press on these and we will have them again, but there is a run on it. Like,
yeah,
I don't feel bad saying we don't have it because it's like, look, it's out of print right now, or it's between printings is, I guess, maybe a more accurate way of saying it. So we'll have it back in. But with all of Magic and Pokemon stuff, it's like, I genuinely don't know when we're getting any more in. And when we do get it in, it doesn't even last a week. So, yeah, maybe we start doing the, buying it at a higher price and charging more for it, because then at least I don't have to say, no, we don't have anything constantly to everybody. And the Pokemon thing, the last 6 weeks has been such a goddamn nightmare. It is phone calls. It is parents coming in. It's adults coming in. And it's kids giving me that look on their face when it's like, where are your Pokemon cards at? We don't have them. Why don't you have them? We just can't get them right now. I'm so sorry. And the kids do not understand, and you cannot reason with them. And
to the kids and the parents, it's your fault.
Yeah, not even the kids' fault. Like, I feel bad for the kids. I don't feel bad for adults. I never feel bad for telling an adult we don't have Pokemon cards, because they're the reason I have to constantly tell kids we don't have Pokemon cards. Like, I seriously want to start carding people, because if you have an ID, I'm not selling you Pokemon cards. Like,
that's fair.
Let me just save them for the children. The children are heartbroken. You're an adult and you'll get over it.
You're not talking about adults with children. You just mean adults.
I just mean adults buying it for themselves.
Okay.
Yeah. A parent cares to the extent that their child is upset. Like, the child is upset, and that's what I want to try and avert as much as I can. I didn't get a chance to tell you this story on the podcast, I don't think, but I think I told you this story in general. I had an adult man call me up on the phone saying that his son had just gotten into Pokemon cards, and
I'm just saying, like,
yeah,
I already feel bad for this parent.
We'll get there. So this guy calls me up at the store, not at home, and he says that his son got into Pokemon cards, and he really doesn't know anything about it. He, the adult, so he doesn't really know like what the kid should be getting. And is there any chance he could bring his son by, and I could just go over with the son like what he should start with and what he needs to get?
Oh wow! And
I had to go, we are out of everything. We've been out of everything for most of this year, and pretty much the whole distribution channel is dried up for Pokemon cards. So I don't want to say you should talk your son out of it, but you really should talk your son out of this. It's going to be impossible to find anything. Oh, okay. Wow, I didn't know that. Thank you for telling me that. Is there any way I could maybe bring my son by and you could tell him? And I'm like, oh,
no,
man.
That is not my job.
I'm like, oh man, that is literally the worst part of my job, is having to tell kids why we don't have Pokemon cards. Please don't do that to me. So yeah, like that is a conversation I've had to have with parents now saying,
wow,
you need to talk your child out of being into Pokemon cards because this is not going to go well for
you need
any
to
of
talk his child out of being into Pokemon cards.
Any of you. Like, the kid's going to be upset and you're going to be frustrated, and God help you if you do find the cards, they're going to be way too expensive. Like, the whole situation is a thing that I think in 20-something years of there being Pokemon cards as an idea, this is the closest they've come, I think, to actively destroying the potential sales of Pokemon cards in the future. Because you have a whole group of kids right now.
A whole generation.
I wouldn't say generation, but a whole group of kids right now that cannot get into this card game, that cannot find, like, the joy in it because it's such a goddamn hassle. I mean, you might as well be trying to get them into, like, Leprechaun Gold. Like, good luck. Maybe you'll find it. End of a rainbow. It's got to be out there somewhere.
Yep.
You have just as much chance of finding that as you do Pokemon cards. So, again, probably not going to do a lot for most children.
Well, on that happy note, welcome back. Thanks for listening.
Keep reading comics.
Stop buying Pokemon cards.
Stop buying what Pokemon cards?
This has been Contest of Challengers. Thanks for listening. Keep reading comics. Challengers is located at 1845 Northwestern Avenue in the Bucktown neighborhood of Chicago. 773-278-0155. Keep up to date with new releases and events at challengerscomics.com. And help fund this podcast at patreon.com/challengers.